very nearly about sailing September 2022. This is just going to be one of those short check-in ones, which I did mention a few episodes ago that I might do. Partly because of health, which has kind of been up and down, but mostly the fact that I got through several projects to sort of very nearly the end, and I don't want to just put lots of bits and pieces out there. I actually had a problem with the hard disk of my main computer, and we all say this, don't we? I normally back things up really, really well, but of course there's certain things that I didn't back up particularly well, and one of those was, I mentioned previously that the neck was off when I showed you this. I had a problem with this thing, which I have now fixed, and it was to do with the truss rod, which is the sort of metal rod that goes in here, and there's a nut sort of buried in there. It's more like a bolt really, which has an Allen key that goes into it, and that had stripped completely round. And I devised this method of actually fixing it using JB Weld, which I think might be useful for certain boat projects, and I wanted to show that. And those were the videos that went missing. The other videos of me actually, quite excitingly, taking off this fingerboard using an iron, stripping it off, putting it back together and all that sort of stuff, that survived, but that's not desperately relevant. And I wanted to show the JB Weld thing. Now what I've got is I've got another project which will use the same technique, so I'm going to use that and kind of include those together. Also I got the bushes back for the rudder, which fit beautifully, and then I made a bit of a mistake and delayed myself for a few days putting the rudder back on, and I don't really want to give you a set of videos of me half putting the rudder on and the tiller and stuff. I'd rather get that sorted out. And also I've been doing some things with, can you remember my old Honda Civic, the one that Lucy blew up? Well done Lucy, blowing up a Honda Civic engine, that takes a bit of doing. Stuff's been going on with that, so I have been doing quite a lot of things. So unfortunately health hasn't been fantastic because I've been overdoing it and not being sort of sensible. And not being sensible by, I never lose files. That's just something I never ever do. I used to be a systems engineer for a very large computer company at one stage. Can't believe I've done that. I blame it on the brain fog. Anyway, so as I say, just a short check-in this time, but there are several projects that have gone nearly to the end, and they will be in next month's video. So until then, I wish you all well, and I shall see you in October. Cheers, bye then.